Hello everyone and welcome to Chat with Nene Alice. If this is your first time tuning in to Chat with Nene Alice, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to send in your comments because together we can all improve on this channel. Well, viewers, today we have a special guest and the person of Ariana Oluwole. She is an entrepreneur, she is a women's rights activist, and she is a lot of things in one person. But she will have the opportunity to introduce herself to you, and then from there we'll start the conversation. And the reason why I have Ariana with me today is because I want us to talk about a woman being an entrepreneur and what does that entails, and how she has used her entrepreneurship to, motivate other women and help serve as a role model so that other women can, just copy some of our footprints so that they can use it and develop their own business. So that's why we have her here today. And I'll give her the opportunity to introduce herself, and then from there we can kickstart the conversation. So if you're just coming in, this is Chat with Nene Alice. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to send in your comments. So, my dear, so can you please say hello to viewers and introduce yourself?
Thank you, first of all, for having me on this channel. I'm pretty much impressed by what you do, and I think it takes a lot of effort and a lot of passion to get this going, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I've been introduced. I'm Ariana Oluwole. I'm an entrepreneur in the educational sector. This happened by accident / intentionality. I found myself in a position a few years ago where I had to move or change careers based on the fact that I was a mother, a new mother, and I had to solve a problem that I faced. As we chat along, you get to know what was the problem that I solved initially and how that has birthed so much more. Right now, thankfully, a sought-after public speaker. I'm also a facilitator. I work with very young people, middle-aged, career-driven people, small teams, big teams, in small offices, in big INGOs. What I do is support them with team building, support them with strategy sessions, everything that has to do with helping them grow professionally. And when I'm not doing that, remember, she said I wear many hats. When I'm not doing that, I'm a very vocal person. So because I belong to different networks, one in particular is Power Women 232, we're known for what we do in terms of vocalizing women's rights, in terms of pushing professional women and career-driven women. So over the last couple of years, I have been known to be very vocal about handling women's issues, and also about my deepest passion, which is children. I've been an advocate, advocating for the rights of children, for mental health around children and teenagers. When I'm not doing all of that, I like writing stories. So I have a blog, it's called Ariana Diaries, and it's been blessed with so many other people that have the shared passion of writing and telling stories. So it's not just limited to Sierra Leone. We've been able to cater to different countries all around the world. And what we do is tell our stories, how we've been able to transform our lives. One thing we have in common is positivity. You know how rough the world is and how crooked it is. So we all need that little bit of sunshine to keep us going.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Ariana, and welcome to this channel. So before we continue with this talk, I just want for you to tell me a little bit about your educational background. Maybe the school there where you go and what you study university.
Interesting. Okay. So I start out at Salon, go Moridin, and after that I go to a couple of other schools. Most notably the animals, and only for a few months, and you get for left salon. But yes, I gave me a registration number, so I can
Yes,
see blocks
from
they made
Wogan.
And then I went outside of Sierra Leone and different other experiences in terms of school. But I'm very, very intent on coming back to Sierra Leone for college. Because my mama, na Frabite, as they can call her, and she had like all this like beautiful story there about when they did college. So contrary to like everybody other expectation, all my man, like I have a lot of family in England, in America, all my man will stay there, you know. I said, no, I want day salon. So I come back salon. Me mentor, one of my favorite people in the world, he's late now. I mean the late Dr. Robin Coker, I'm a pediatrician. So ever since when I'm a small picking, I say I want to be doctor. But when I come back salon, everybody talk say, at small, you're too small for go medical school. So if I start out, first of all, go college, do sciences, then as you mature, you go now go medical school. Interestingly, me know say the thing I share with Dr. Uncle Oluwole, I'm in love for picking them. So I go along and I go do biological sciences. I get a good, not so good, interesting experience all around. And when I done for study, all of a sudden I realized, well, my mama and my papa me just about to retire. So I look at myself, okay, now I don't get this maturity, but it not make sense for go straight medical school.
Yes.
Because then my parents want to retire, and me know they raised me for be very independent.
Yes.
So me no more for sit down now, they wait back for possible can be pay for me for go. I said, okay, well I work small, and that's when the interesting thing happened. And I got into contact with this lovely lady, Aminata Dumbuya, an entrepreneur. At that time, we just launched into entrepreneurship, and we also began work together as a team. With him, they do marketing, business development, people, and sales. And that's when I can discover. I said, me I like more than man. I like for support people and for grow. I like for make people understand about waiting and like in life and for develop professionally. So that was how it started out. I go into business development. I begin do courses in HR, and I thought that was the end. So I worked with Aminata, left Aminata, went through a few other jobs, like great jobs, international jobs, go right up like the ladder, and then I get belly. I married, I get belly, I born Peking. Where I born this Peking, me I'm this super young, career-driven professional. I did all over the place with the big belly. Today I go there, tomorrow I go there, and other day I go inside Pampa, they cross over for going to airport. So it was hectic. Eventually, when I born the Peking, I get an interesting experience. We make I realize I don't spend time with this Peking. So I just born this Peking no more because I want to tick off the box, say, married woman don't born Peking. But with my mother, I mean, the help for me now. Sometimes if I go left, so let's say I go left on Monday. Sometimes I always say until Wednesday. I can don't, you know now then with my machine, I don't express the milk, I don't wait it. So I didn't on this, I don't even take leave for sure. You know more how I'm crazy about work and achieving waiting like call we key performance indicators. So when I born I don't take time off. 6 months later, now I finally take time off. Now I tell mama, say, you know what, don't go already, small. In the process, now I finally get the awakening that this Peking don't know me. What is more important, for find the money or for look after the Peking? But every person around me told me this. They said, you ain't bet so. You're not going to put on housewife. Not that anything wrong with housewife, but then we just look at normal like say, I'm not going to sit down one place. Yes. Then say the thing that what we share, when we young, and the people who they share, it's very important. I learned that lesson. Apparently, while they college, while they school, I always can talk say, I don't get money. I go open orphanage, I go open school. I always tell people in that day. But make you don't forget to. Naim, my best friend, a lawyer in England, he say, please, don't go sit on the house. You can't commit suicide. He say, how about that thing when me say you want to do? And interestingly, I don't get different encounter them. While they try to put me picking a day here, I know they felt the care when me had to take, or we get all waiting me they look for. Because my mama I'm a teacher. I come from a line of teachers. I know quality education. I know good educational environment. So when you tell me this talk, let me bring good this.
So you don't talk am.
I don't talk am. Number one. Number two, how many women then they like me? We want to pursue their career, then get them beginning, they don't get signed for whole life. That was how I got into early childhood education. So I think the next 6 months, every single training we're able to do.
So once you
I did still have my other job, I still a work. I did take online training. Because when I send my resignation, my boss na Sweden, my boss na Ghana, all my say, you're not going anywhere. This is not possible. A salary increase you, I know give you more salary. So it took a while really for making them. They feel no more like we woman can just born.
Yes.
Where you get that postnatal, that depression.
Yes.
I said no. I said I really want to live. So they actually give me time. I take time planning myself. They do the online course them. They do a lot of research. I ask people them. And then finally what I done, I go do course in Nigeria. Later on I may get chance for do something with a big institution like Sabia. So early childhood, now they start for me in terms of education. Where I begin work with women there. Then you know say let's talk. Where I begin work with women there, when we open the daycare, I realize a gap there at the professional setting. We don't need experience where they at the international development world. But until you know say they can get boku expatriates, so you're able to balance out. But notice say boku salon people that even after they don't go college, they go lack confidence. Some of them don't go able for present their thoughts them into a good write-up or for even for talk about what they do.
Yeah.
So now they the training side of what I do begin.
Okay.
I begin invest in that area there, begin work with groups of people for free, and they go talk for free. That day I discover now, so okay, this is another good business too.
Yes. Yeah, but you don't talk a lot, but various stages the way you don't follow na you career path. First of all, you say you be get a mentor, somebody will be the mentor you and somebody will be the admirer. When I want challenge that the way some of we get in building we own career or that thing where they inside we will for make with the person we supposed for be. And also you say you change career path several times. You wanted to be a doctor, you at the same time you go, you do with Aminata, you don't see Aminata being an entrepreneur, you left that, then you kind to ECD and all of that. So it's showing you multitasking skills and the way you able for take various risks. Whether then we as women the bulk of the time we're knocking one for take. But I want to let you move this go before because I know say so many people then like for getting conversation with you. So many people then like for just one for hearing how Ariana able to do all this. Yes, and still stay focused. So I just want you for, just tell me, this entrepreneurship, that's what you go recommend for women, because say one of the challenges we get, now that's because we male counterparts they feel to say, we're not able for take financial risks. In fact, we own money if we're able for manager. So most of the time, like you want manage me money then for we, and where they say, first time at this country, you want to take loan, they say, go bring collateral away. If you don't get man behind you, they're not going to give you an all thing. So I just want to let you, just tell me a little bit about being an entrepreneur and some of the risks and way you don't take. in this patriarchal world wey we dey, we not get buckle off with you to say the opportunities that they not available.
Thank you so much for that, and I know say a lot of people don't go out for no. The truth is, that one word wey you call just a mentor, that was really look up to, that was really advise you. It don't come in handy, it don't become helpful to me many times. First of all, any business wey you want to do, I call entrepreneurship not to just ordinary business. A business where it dey solve problem, where for me a social entrepreneur, so now a societal problem. See where they happen around our environment, our community, where you know like that problem they solve. Some man they do where other person give them money, then they use that money now because I then get the idea them, they make the money go around. But some of we will not be that lucky where we start. So we like for profit. We use we own small what we get. We begin offer service, people and they pay with farm, and the money they get as small, and they go. One thing what I discover is you can't do it by yourself without any knowledge. So the very beginning, I don't know if it's because of my background, I begin reach out to organizations the way they do training. People that way understand what this thing we call entrepreneurship. And they go, I put myself down. I attend the workshop, I attend the training. So man they give exam all, you take a fresh one. Then they may help me bad one. Another thing may help, what start initially, I mean, I don't want to call and waste. But Boko money may go astray. Because like how you don't say, woman them, especially African woman, sadly, they don't teach me how to manage money. Because the patriarchal system, where the man they in control, most then the man they the money they give now half akala.
Yes, because I just want don't take note of that because me where I begin do woman work, one of the things where I be so passionate about now because women are very spontaneous buyers. They spend spontaneously.
I tell you,
I don't can I not plan for take a meal.
yes.
I can't no more. I say I want to. For money where you know say this money it be get for go other side, but you just use that and later on you begin guys say you add up. And more so when you're not business person,
Yes.
you can forget skills in managing your money. And I don't know how if you did out there and you need for know this, now that if you know say you want for be businesswoman, you get for learn how for manage your money.
Yes.
And I don't say the urge day, I don't know something a part of Eugene as women so we are spontaneous people then for shop, for buy, for just buy number because you like buy. You know, but with the land say we get for manage with money.
Manager.
You manage your money well.
And what I go add today, some of we, you know, they can't do it naturally. Because habits, you easy for make that mistake. So look for, you get institution there where that work then they do. Where then they advise you. And you get woman institution and back again. I know one where they call African Moneypreneur. They really helped me. Because when we don't misuse that for cent money, more or less.
So African money, you just give them, they get a website.
Yeah. African Moneypreneur, you can just go Google and the website will come. Africa, then you put money, then you do PRENEUR. Another platform where they share a lot about business development, how to manage your money. That she leads Africa. SHE leads LEADS Africa. Then as she dey go through them platform because now all man will say not to one person they do the work. You go get connection to other one depending on which you do. So back to what I say. I mean get for reach out to them. They can't really talk so. For make them support me in terms of a proper financial called template. So I begin know almost money they can side, almost I allow for spend, almost for pay me self, how for pay the staff, waiting go pay me profit. So I do that. Then another thing what I do is I find accountability partner them. Kind of person where you trust. You find person where you get experience or where they in business, maybe you same line of business. I make them now, they can't turn leg. the one wey dey watch over me. In fact, I make sure say one part the people board member there na signatory to the account. So I no dey able pull money if other person no know.
Okay, so I want to take that point there from you. I don't read about female entrepreneurs then. And one prominent one they were being read about. He said the thing will make in business empire become successful now because it's stingy. And in definition of that every check when they come out now in business, they be signed by him. So in no say you get this check from Jack, and this check they go to Jill. So you get the understanding. I don't know if you self get that kind of learning.
Okay. I'm aware of every single payment. But one thing when me pull me hand pa, not to me, they in charge of doing all of the payments. You know why? Me na so yet motor man. Me intellect I see me granny the fulaton the fulaton habits they inside me. I not get my person they suffer. And because of what I do, and now we don't begin get a lot of community projects. It's a look so community, then picking your daily then suffer. Problem don't be. So what I do, I create a system. I get admin, where now in charge for approve payments. If they come to me, they ask me, but if they look the budget, if money not available for do good, we go get budgets for do good. If they tell me plain one side, Ariana, money not there for that day. So straight away, I know say, no way to wait. I don't get very go sneak.
But the fact is, you know,
I'm aware of every single penny.
And any penny where they go out.
And this person here, I want to take advice because me say I don't begin to say the stingy small now. Before I know they think, before I read this morning. But now they begin remember, if we pull this come on now, what's it we'll go forget in the future?
Because the savings the way you they get, they go for starting new venture. So you need for, because if you ask billionaires then at the world, they will explain to you in as much as they're also very charitable. But then get, you know.
Because on 10 day, we can feel say, okay, with society, once you don't begin make that small money, how money come to you? But who do they give you money? That person they go waste time. You pay college fee for person not they go to college. You pay school fee for person way for go take drugs.
We're not going to lead example.
So you have to look who you put this money inside because that money they now more like returns for you. Now that make it them billionaire, they all this set up charity. So that they look for monitor who that
the money they go.
So now that I do 2 years ago.
Because even Bill Gates Foundation, they give university scholarship, but you get to fill the forms so that it's kind of forms so they will not say now this you be answer to and all that. So, but I want to take you back to something where you've been talking about, but this mentor where you get. Becoming as somebody where believe in mentorship, and I know say by the kind of life where they live, so many people they are attracted to me back as well. And I want to ask you if age matter for mentor somebody. Say for example, you big past the person, that person can mentor you. Because you know South Africa or Sierra Leone, we value age and people to say age. Yes, of course, age to go with experience and all that. But sometimes you go look this small picky, say this the way I see him. I did learn from him and he can be my mentor. If it's to say
well you know Nene Alice, you know say me I don't even get box. Like me na free spirit. So sometimes I don't go do the question justice, but I go and rub more today. I don't believe say at this point, at this world we live in, this world they change so much that possible put that restriction of age for anything. If we're able to discover, say that person day, Obayada, and look how we can work. Simple thing like that. And that worker they no more than me one copy. And you learn from them, you begin working that worker. Some people will just look say, oh, the way I see this woman able for take up a new job, he gets speaking away the university, but he always look good. And no chaka chaka. And then they know my one land. So I will come near him, I begin ask him, say, hey Alice, how come you lipstick all say he correct you? How you rub him? So I don't really think say age for be stumbling block, but because of who offend me self, plenty time. Even me self, when I just start, a lot of women they don't me feel comfortable with me. Please have picking and they can't tell but speaking business. So I mean get for constancy, but that make you as a role model because you a person they look up to. You don't turn role model. All man value you. So even inside also, outside of you also, you get a certain way you get for carry yourself. Certain things the way you go say this one let left so. Then it left to you now. The people the way they deal with. Some man go can hear you and then go learn from you. Some man go still get that barrier we go say me no they go to am. But if you honestly they do wetin right, if you honestly they set example, you don't must get your own silent mentee them, people the way they look up to you.
And the thing is, what I want for tell viewers them today now that about this work where I don't do, I don't get people the way will born me, where they look up to me as an inspiration. I don't get the other time somebody reach out to me and say, hey, I did get challenge with my husband, I really should be age as a lot of I say me, I don't do that. But able for explain to me and and value some of the advice that where I give. So age no matter as long as that person they do something where you admire so much, the person can be your inspiration. And the person can mentor you. And mentor also from afar, you for also make let the person know say you they admire him and you want for copy some of the trick the way you get. Okay, so we want for come to an end. And one of the things in entrepreneurship. Because me now one person I can say when you know do straight business, you go work till go see the money.
Yes.
So I don't know how the level of integrity they in business because I know that this part of the world, Boku, on our hand things they can play, where it go prosper the entrepreneur and so then they can just bring and candle. So how you see them?
Well, it sounds like somebody me don't can pinch you say I like that word. I want no topic that I can even train and teach people on. I think say mortal man, generally in business, more especially, integrity, that means say for be straightforward. Akrio, I think.
Yeah.
It's very important. I believe in this law, say wetin you sow, that you dey reap.
Yeah.
I believe say if you dey do your work with all your heart, you might not get the profit one time, but it definitely dey come in ways that way you don't get for imagine. As long as you take the right steps and you put in the necessary work. So me, integrity, I value and bad one, I take am seriously. And I think if we can make good even sack person. That are the only thing we will not get tolerance for. Or they tell you if we catch you, you thief or you lie to clients, a problem. What they do with small picking and the main business one again, a small picking what they deal with. God forbid if picking for done, now we hand. And we responsibility for talk the two. Because when we talk the two, now they go for find solution. The nurse waiting at the center go for address the problem. So even when they do staff training them, orientation, one topic where they spend a lot of time on say, all man for ensure say they work with your conscience. You for put yourself in that position where you want say the clients put you. And if for work like say, person they watch you. Because not all the person will watch you. But if for work for God and for mortal man. At the end of the day, what I go on for say is the problem with when we see a lot of African people not get integrity, and because we can be lazy. You see what they so where I start this conversation, I tell you almost different thing what they do. Most of them things they like how small money they come through them. So I know about one side, number one. So that is the big word for now. I will introduce myself say other portfolio careers, not one thing I do. Another thing is, I know they sit down, full hand, full foot. They expect people for can give me money on that table. We don't get a society, especially with young business people away. We just want all things easy. We they look for bill. Oh, then if you go yonder, so you pay so and so under, then go. Then you laugh me. That's it. Look immediately. NRA, look immediately. It don't turn such a habit that anybody wey near me know say I conscious for that thing in there. Because I always say if you not give government wetin na government e own, how you wan let the country go before? So integrity starts with you self. Then by how you action and they go, then the people already around you. Some of we quick when they talk say our business and people then they tip me, then they tip me. It's with my kids, they touch wood. I experienced only 1, 2 term in the very beginning, take or take it now. Because the people who I work with no say, I say straightforward, that's why I expect them for straightforward.
So, you know that empowered woman we would always dream about?
Oh yes, I'm at this point in my life we are so grateful to God. I don't think I get any regrets at this point. In fact, I'm more ambition I get. I am so happy and I'm glad because this empowered state, they make able bring other people along.
Okay. So, if you know that empowered woman we don't always dream of, I just want to say cheers to that. More health, more life, more gains, more money, and best wishes as always. So cheers.
Cheers.